Hi everyone, welcome back to yoga. My name is Ashley. Today we are going to be working on some twists. So we're going to be getting twisted today. And I love twists because they're very warming and energizing for the body and also detoxifying. So if you have anything built up in your system that you're trying to get out, whether that's food, medications, or something else, then this is a really great practice to help move things along. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Feel free to take a nice seat, close your eyes, maybe place your hands on your thighs or join your palms in front of your heart. And just take a moment here to connect with your center. Taking slow, steady breaths. Really just meeting yourself where you're at today. Whether you arrive in a good mood or not so good mood. Whether you're feeling energized or not so energized. Just greet yourself where you're at, here and now. Take a full breath in. Exhale, let it out with a sigh. And gently open your eyes. Please begin on all fours, hands and knees. Line up your wrists, your shoulders, knees, and your hips. Then begin cat and cow. Round your spine, starting from the base of your spine, rolling all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Bring your chin toward your chest. And on your inhale, again, starting from the lowest part of your spine, moving all the way up, lifting your hips, lifting your chest, lift your chin. Then move back and forth, rounding and lengthening at your own pace with your breath. Even try every time you come into your full cow pose, extended variation. Start to lengthen from hips to armpits. Try to pull those points apart and then exhale round from there. Continue on. You're always free to make more organic movements. Swing hips side to side. Roll your head, shoulders, neck. Relax your jaw. Come back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands to the front of your mat. Spread your fingers wide. Curl your toes under. Lift your knees up. Start with bent knees. Take your feet about as wide as your hips. Sit your hips pretty far towards your heels. And then bring your thighs really close to your torso. Push your hands down and forward. And then push your feet down and back. Maybe work your legs straight, taking heels toward the floor. Put even pressure between your feet and your hands so that your hips are lighter, more buoyant. As you hold your down dog, lift your armpits away from the floor. Parshva Adho Mukha Svanasana, sideways dog. Come to your outer left foot, inner right foot, keeping your feet staggered, not stacked. Push through your inner and outer feet evenly. Keep your hips high, and then lengthen from hips to armpits. It's a very, very small twist that works more of the side stretch than the twist. Switch sides to the other foot, inner left foot, outer right foot, and then try to get the soles of both feet down. Hips high, lengthen from hips to armpits. Come back to center. Lower your knees to the floor. Take your feet together, knees together, tops of feet on the floor, and then sit back toward your heels. Walk your hands over to your left in a diagonal line from your left knee. And then walk your arms out to whatever capacity feels good for you. Drop your right shoulder and your right rib cage toward your thighs as you lift your left side toward the ceiling, and maybe drop your head into your right arm. You can stay like this or stack right palm on top of left palm, hook right fingers under left palm, pull with your right hand, push with your left hand, and that'll give you a little extra leverage to use. Just let your breath flow and breathe naturally. From here, unhook your hand from your hand, and then slide your right arm under your left arm. Lift your hips up and try to drop your right shoulder to the floor. If you're too close to your knees, you can take your shoulder a little further away from your knees. Once you're here, take your ear to the floor and then walk your left hand forward and to your right. Just a different way of getting into revolved child's pose. Pull with your right arm, push with your left arm, and then squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward. In this variation, the knees are closer together rather than in previous variations that I teach, knees are a little wider apart. But if you need to, always feel free to widen your knees instead. Walk your left hand back. Push your hand down to untwist, and then set your bottom back to your heels. Make sure your knees and ankles come together. Then walk your hands over to your right. Drop the left side of your torso toward the floor. Lift your right side up. Maybe drop your ear to your arm. And maybe take your left hand on top of your right hand. Hook your fingers under your palm. Pull with your left hand, push with your right hand as you drop your head. Unhook your left hand from your right hand. Then take your left arm under your right arm. Lift up your hips. Again, maybe take your shoulder a little further away from your knees or stay here. Maybe walk right hand forward and to your left. Pull with your left arm, push with your right arm. Draw your shoulder blades toward each other. Squeeze your knees and ankles in and stay connected with your breath. Walk your right hand back. Push your hand down to untwist as you sit your bottom back toward your heels. Then take your hands out in front of you to lift your hips. Curl your toes under, slide your knees back, and then sit on your heels. Take your arms out like cactus arms, and then cross your right arm under your left arm. Either hold shoulders, join backs of hands, or palms. Pull your elbows forward and down as you lift your sternum forward and up. This is considered a twist for the arms, just not the rest of the body. Squeeze elbows in, shoulders back, lift through your sternum. A few more breaths here. Push through your knees like you're trying to pull your knees toward your toes, and then push your toe pads down like you're trying to drag them toward the wall behind you. Couple more breaths. Unwind, shift forward, take the tops of your feet back to the floor, take your arms out, and then take left arm under your right arm, hold shoulders, join backs of hands or palms, pull elbows forward and down, lift up through your sternum, move your shoulders back, extend up through your torso, down through your hips. Deepen and lengthen your breath. Unbind your arms, come back to all fours, hands and knees, then curl your toes under, come into downward facing dog. Take your feet just a tad bit closer to your hands, bend your right knee, keep pushing through your right arm, take your left hand to your outer right shin or somewhere toward your ankle. Before you straighten your right leg, push through your right arm, push through both feet, and twist your torso to your right. Try to look up beyond your right armpit. You can stay here or extend your right thigh back and take your heel toward the floor. Move your ribs back. Push your arms and legs longer and breathe. Parivrtta Adho Mukha Svanasana, Revolved Dog. Unbind, switch sides. Bend your left knee, reach for your left shin or somewhere toward your ankle. Twist, look beyond your left armpit if you can, or just look out in front of you. Maybe push your legs straighter, push arms and legs longer. Pull with your right hand, push with your left hand. Untwist, back to down dog. Step your feet back to normal down dog width, and then step your right foot outside your right hand. Lower your back knee to the floor and slide the flesh of your knee back by pulling your leg forward. Take right hand to right thigh. Then just take your left arm a little more forward and to the left. Keep your toes pointing straight ahead and twist to your right. You can stay here or reach your right arm straight up. Pull your ribs back, tailbone forward as you twist more toward the ceiling. Maybe lift your gaze toward your right thumb. Watch out for collapsing into your left shoulder. Push your arm down and forward to keep your shoulder moving back into the socket. Take your right hand back to the floor. Press back, downward dog. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Back knee to the floor. Pull your leg forward so your skin moves toward your toes. Then take left hand to thigh, right hand a little bit to the right. Twist. Stay working here or lift your left arm straight up. Reach length through your arms. Pull both shoulders back and breathe. Lower your hand. Press back, downward dog. We start with subtler twists and then we start to go a little deeper as we move through the practice. Step your right foot forward between your hands. Spin your back heel to the floor. Line up your heels. Push your legs longer. Lengthen your spine and lift your chin. Take your left hand either inside or outside your right foot. Draw right hip back, left hip forward. And then take your right hand to your right hip or palm flat on your sacrum. Feel free to use a block under your hand if you need to. Keep twisting your torso to the right as you push your right hip back and left hip forward. Maybe stack your shoulders. Push through your right big toe mound. Stay here or lift your right arm straight up. Parivrtta Trikonasana, revolved triangle. Maybe lift your gaze toward your thumb. A little more difficult to balance. Untwist. Step back to switch sides. Step left foot forward. Spin your right heel down, line up your heels. Work your legs towards straight, lengthen your spine on an inhale. Then take right hand inside or outside your left foot. Left hand to hip or palm flat on your sacrum. Draw left hip back, right hip forward as you twist to your left. Maybe turn your gaze. Maybe lift your left arm up. Slow, steady breaths. Untwist. Lower your hands, step forward. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand up. Reach your arms all the way over your head. Then exhale, join your palms in front of your heart. Turn and face the long edge of your mat. Bring your feet together. And then take your arms over your head. Interlace fingers, extend pointer finger, cross your thumbs. Lean your hips to your left and your torso to your right. Push evenly through your inner feet. Lift both sides of your body longer. Move your rib cage back, tailbone forward. Keep your chin lifting slightly. Maybe go a little deeper. Push your hips as much to one side as you lean your torso to the other for balance. Inhale, reach up, switch the clasp of your fingers to the non-dominant clasp. Lean hips to your right, torso to your left. Move ribs back, tailbone forward, push through your inner feet. Lift up through your sternum, lengthen both sides of your body longer. Maybe lean a little bit more to your left, hips a little more to your right. Keep your breath breathing, slow, deep, even. Inhale, back up. Exhale, drop your arms by your side. Then interlace your fingers behind your lower back. Squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other. Work your arms toward straight. Bend your knees, take your thighs toward parallel to the floor. Tone your abdomen around your spine and bring forehead to or toward your knees, thighs toward parallel to the floor. Keep drawing shoulders away from the floor as you take your forehead closer to your knees. And breathe. This is power posture, hands bound. Utkatasana variation. Inhale, stand up. Reach your arms all the way up. Then exhale, sit into an imaginary chair. Take your right hand to your right thigh, crescent over to your right, and then twist. Take your left armpit outside your right thigh. Try to get as close to armpit, outside thigh as you can, and then do your best not to let your left knee fall in front of your right knee. Keep them even next to each other. Join your palms. Sit your hips about as low as your knees, or as low as you can go. Push elbow into knee, knee into elbow. Twist your torso more toward the ceiling, and maybe even turn your gaze upward. You'll notice the twists will warm your body up. Really great for when the seasons start getting cooler. Twists are a great way to warm the body. Stand up. Take a moment, mountain pose, push down through your feet, lengthen through the top of your head. Then take your arms back up, bend your knees, Utkatasana. Then take your left hand to your thigh, reach up, over, and twist to your left. Take elbow outside your thigh, maybe armpit toward your knee, palms in front of your heart, right knee in line with left knee. Pull right hip back, left hip forward. Sit your hips a little lower, more weight in your heels. Twist more toward the ceiling, lift up through your sternum, and maybe turn your gaze upward. Don't hold your breath. The breath breathing, helping to expand and contract the abdominal area, is really helpful for the actual purpose of the twists, to detoxify, squeeze, and to expand and contract. Slowly stand up. Take a deep breath. Mountain pose. All right, take your feet wide. Line up your wrists and your ankles. Then turn your left toes in, turn your right toes out. Bend your right knee, take your right forearm to your right thigh, and extend your left arm beyond your ear. Tone and turn your abdomen more to the left. Feel free to stay in this variation, or take your right hand outside your right foot to the floor or block. Keep widening right knee to the right, push through your outer left foot, and extend through your left arm. Start to twist your torso toward the ceiling. This is kind of considered a twist. It's an open twist, twisting away from the leg. in order to get a side stretch. Inhale, stand up. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Bend your left knee, left forearm to thigh. Push through your legs, reach through your right arm, extend your arm beyond your ear. Stay here, or left hand outside, left foot. Push through your right leg, reach through your right arm. Tone and turn your abdomen toward the ceiling. Lift through your sternum, maybe turn your gaze upward or toward your right palm. Inhale, slowly stand up. Turn your left toes in. Turn your right toes out. Turn your left toes in sharply and then pick up your back heel, right hand to right thigh, left arm straight up. Then you're going to crescent to your right just like you did in revolved power pose. And then twist, take your armpit outside your knee. That might be too much. If it is, just take your hand to the floor inside your leg and reach your right arm up instead. If you've got armpit outside your knee, palms in front of your heart, move your shoulders back, push elbow into leg, leg into elbow, push through your back foot to lift your back thigh up. Stay working here or deepen the pose by taking left hand to the floor, right arm toward the ceiling. Stay here, spin your back heel to the floor. Stay here, extend your right arm beyond your ear. Parivrtta Parsva Konasana, revolved side angle pose. Inhale, stand up. Turn your right toes in. Turn your left toes out. Pick up your back heel, right arm up. Bend your left knee. Lean to the left, then twist. Elbow or somewhere toward your armpit, outside your thigh. Then join your palms in front of your heart or go to that other variation, right hand on floor, left arm toward the ceiling. Stay here or drop right hand to the floor, left arm toward the ceiling. Spin your right heel down and reach your left arm beyond your ear. Make sure you're breathing as best as possible. This is a compressive posture. Very hard to breathe deeper in this pose. But we do our best. Untwist. Stand up. Turn your toes in. Bring your fingertips in front of your sternum. Bend your knees. Step or jump feet together. Arms by your side. All right. Turn and face the front of your mat and come into a downward dog. Stretch it out. Lengthen from hips to armpits. And take your feet together. Then step your right foot outside your right hand. Twisted monkey lunge, lower your back knee. Turn your right toes slightly out. Walk left hand forward, turn your fingers slightly out. Take right hand to right thigh, twist to your right. Take right arm up, bend your back knee, and reach for the outer edge of your left foot. Pull heel and outer hip toward each other. Twist more toward the ceiling. Lift up through your sternum, and maybe curl back, upper back, back bend. Let go. Untwist. Walk your right foot to the middle of your mat, front midline. Hands surrounding your leg. Slide your left knee back. Lift your right toes off the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold forward. Ardha Hanumanasana. Feel free to walk your hands forward, forehead toward your knee. Parigasana, gatekeeper. Walk your hands in. Take your hands inside your right leg. Turn your right toes in and then point your toes so your whole sole of your foot comes down. Then turn your left shin toward the wall behind your hips. Take your right hand, back of your hand, to your right ankle, and then take your left palm to your right palm. Now, tuck your head under your left arm and then start to twist your torso toward the ceiling. This is one of the most oppressive ways to get into this pose, so it won't always necessarily feel very inviting or satisfying. So if it's not satisfying, there's nothing wrong with your pose. It just is what it is. And slowly lift your head out from under your arms, take left hand to the floor, untwist. Then turn your left shin back to the original direction, right toes up, and then step back to your downward facing dog. Step your left foot outside your left hand. Lower your right knee, turn your left toes out. Right hand forward into the right, fingers point out. Left hand to left thigh twist. Twisted monkey lunge, lift your left arm up. Bend your knee, reach back, grab your foot with your left hand. Pull heel and outer right hip toward each other. Lift up through your sternum, move your shoulders back, head back, curl back. Let go of your foot. Turn your left toes forward, slide your foot to the front midline of your mat, slide your right knee back. Ardha Hanumanasana, left toes up, fold forward, heart first, head last. Feel free to walk your arms forward, forehead to knee. Parigasana, lengthen your spine, walk your hands inside your leg. Turn your left toes in, take your sole of your foot to the floor, turn your right shin back, and then take back a left hand to your left ankle, palm to left palm, head under your arm, twist, turn your torso open toward the ceiling. Push through your right knee. Lengthen from hips to armpits. Lift your head out from under your arms, untwist, take your hands to the floor, turn back to the original direction, and then step back, downward dog. Take your knees to the floor. Take your legs straight out in front of you. And then from here, take your left knee in towards your chest. Push the sole of your foot down and squeeze your legs toward each other. Keep your right knee and toes facing up. Take left hand behind your hips, arms straight the whole time. Take your right arm up, lean and twist to your left. Try to get your armpit outside your thigh. If that's way too much, you can take elbow around your knee instead for a little bit less deep of a twist. Now, in whatever position you are in, push down through both feet, down through your sitting bones, and then lift up through your spine all the way up through the top of your head. Inhale, lengthen, then exhale, twist. Turn your gaze past your left shoulder. Marichyasana variation. Untwist. Take your left knee and just let it fall to the left. Widen it a little to the left. And then twist to your left. Take your right hand to your left thigh, left hand behind you. Take your left arm up, palm pointing toward your right foot, and then start to lean toward your right leg. You may be able to go all the way right side to thigh or right hand or forearm inside your leg. If you go all the way to your side, you can grab outer edge of your right foot with your left hand, inner edge with your right hand. Otherwise, just extend your arm beyond your ear, arm straight if you're not going for your foot. Turn your abdomen toward the left. Try to get your torso to face as much upward as possible. Parivrtta Janushirshasana. Inhale, slowly sit back up. Then turn toward your right leg for regular Janu Shirshasana. We usually do this the backwards order, but we're doing it this way today. Take heart first, head last, face toward your shin. Feel free to grab your foot with one or both of your hands. Actively turn your torso to face the floor. Oftentimes it'll try to turn a little bit up to the left. Next inhale, lengthen your spine, slowly sit up. Take your left leg forward. Pull your right knee in. Marichyasana variation. Keep your left leg actively pointing toes and kneecap straight up. Right hand back behind you. Lift your left arm up. Twist. Reach. Maybe take your armpit outside your knee or elbow in front of your knee. Push your right arm straighter. Push through your sitting bones. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Gaze beyond your right shoulder. Keep breathing. Look forward. Untwist. Drop your right knee to the right. Take it a little wider if you'd like. And then twist more to your right. Make sure your sitting bones are even. Keep all of this. Take your right arm up, palm pointing toward your left, and lean to your left. Again, maybe taking your left palm or forearm inside your leg, or drop your whole left side to your thigh if it reaches. Lean into your left thigh. Grab outer foot with your right hand, inner foot with your left hand, or just extend your top arm beyond your ear and push down through your bottom arm. Tone and turn your abdomen more toward the ceiling. Lift your chin. Breathe. Inhale, slowly sit back up. Stay long in your torso. Turn toward your left leg and fold shin, ankle, or foot with your hands. Grab foot with one or both hands, forehead toward your knee. Inhale, lengthen. Slowly sit back up. Extend your right leg forward. Paschimottanasana. Walk your sitting bones back one at a time. Bring your legs together. Push your heels down and toward your hips. And then take your heart first, head last toward your legs. If you have a big gap between your thighs and your rib cage, do your best to bend your knees so your ribs and thighs touch so you have something even to round over. Re-lengthen your spine. Widen your elbows to the sides and pull yourself more forward. Draping yourself over your legs, maybe take your face into your shins and drop your elbows into your shins as you push your heels down and apart. Next inhale, lengthen your spine. Slowly sit up. Scoot forward, lie on your back. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Widen your right knee to the right. Pull your legs toward your torso. Interlace fingers around left thigh or shin. Sukhi Randrasana. Feel free to rock side to side, massaging the right side of your back with the floor. Keep your ankle crossed over your knee, but let go of your leg with your hands. Just let your arms come off to the side. Taking your left foot to the floor, pick up your hips, scoot them a little to your right, and drop your legs over to the left so the sole of your right foot is on the floor and your right knee is actively pointing more toward the ceiling. Squeeze ankle and knee into each other, then extend your right hip away from your right shoulder so it's not hiking up. This will help keep length on that right side and it'll keep your lower spine a little bit happier. Slowly lift your legs back up, hips to center, uncross your leg, cross left ankle over your right knee, clamp your heel towards your hip, and draw your legs in toward your sternum. Interlace fingers around right thigh or shin, and maybe gently rock side to side, focusing on the left side of your back. Keep your ankle crossed over your knee, let go of your shin, take your arms off to the side, scoot your hips a little to your left, drop your legs over to the right. Keep your left knee pointing up. Squeeze knee and ankle into each other. Actively draw your left hip away from your left shoulder back into the floor. And just let your breath breathe slow, deep, and even breaths. Slowly come back up. Hips to center. Drop your foot. From inside your legs, grab outside your feet. Happy baby. Push feet up into hands, hands down into feet. Maybe rock side to side. Slide your hands down to your ankles, pull your heels toward your sitting bones, and just let your knees go as wide as they'll go. Relax your legs, keeping your hands around your ankles. And hold here for a couple more breaths. And slowly pull your legs in toward your sternum. Wrap your arms around your legs. Then gently, maybe rock side to side or in circles. And eventually, when you feel ready, slide all the way into Shavasana, resting posture. Always feel free to take another posture and rest, such as on your belly, your side, legs up the wall, or seated. Just allow yourself to be here for at least a few minutes. If you can, try 5 to 8 minutes. Resting your attention on the space in between your thoughts. Holding steady in this place for as long as you possibly can. Thank you so much for coming to practice today. Have a wonderful rest of your day.